everyone! Today, I haven't had to travel very far. I'm still in London. I'm in Battersea Park, a lovely park to come at the beginning of spring. And very soon we're going to be going into the Battersea Children's Zoo to meet some pretty interesting animals. But first of all, we need to have a conversation about conservation. But what's conservation, I hear you ask? That's a very good question. Conservation is all about protecting the things we find in nature. Luckily, there are many amazing people who dedicate their lives to keeping the earth clean and green. All about protecting the earth's natural resources. So, speaking about clean and green, you guys can do this activity. I want you to pause the video here and all go outside and collect 10, yes, I said 10 pieces of rubbish. Off you go and I'll see you back here soon. Good, you're back. I hope you're feeling better and the school is feeling much cleaner now. Let's take a look at the Earth's resources. Some of them are renewable and they can reproduce themselves, like plants and animals. But in saying that, we need to make sure we're always taking care of them as well. But some of the resources are not renewable, meaning that when they're gone for good. That's it. Fossil fuels like petrol and oil are used for cars and many other things. But the more that is used and burnt up, the more that they're going to have to take from our beautiful Earth. Luckily, there are a lot more options nowadays for how you can run cars, like electric cars and hydrogen cars. I wonder what they'll think of next. Water is another one of the Earth's resources that we need to be careful of and conserve. With the amount of people on this planet, we need to make sure that no one is wasting any water. There may be times of drought, meaning that there is no rain falling. If there's no rain falling, then the water dries out. If the water dries out in certain areas, that might mean that food crops will die out. Now that we know a little bit more about the Earth's environment, let's have a talk about some of the habitats of the animals in the world. People are using everyday items that they may not realize are harming some of these habitats. Let's take paper, for instance. Paper is made from trees. The more paper that people need to use, the more trees will be cut down. But think about the animals that live in the habitats of the woods and the forests. 70% of land animals live in the woods and forests. If all of their habitats are cut down, then the animals will be gone. If the animals are gone, then they won't be able to play their part in the world. I'm about to go into the Battersea Children's Zoo to see some of the animals from different habitats around the world. But before I do that, I need to answer some questions, like, what is animal conservation? Animal conservation is taking care of wildlife and different animals and their habitats so they will always be around in the future. Why do these animals need protecting? Many of these animals need protecting because of the changes that are happening in their habitat or the environment. Whether it's directly or indirectly being done by humankind, some animals are finding it hard to survive and have or are going to become extinct. What is happening to make these animals' habitats change? The human population is continuing to grow more and more. And a side effect of this is that we need to use more and more of the Earth's resources. The habitats have been affected by farming, deforestation, and overfishing. You may have also heard of climate change and global warming. This is where the Earth is slowly heating up and making changes to the environment, and then in turn making changes to the habitats. I don't think the polar bears would be very happy with a much warmer world. What happens when a habitat is disrupted? The world is a delicate place. Everything fits together like cogs in an enormous clock. When a habitat is disrupted, the animals that call it home don't deal with it very well. It then becomes difficult to find food, shelter, or even a mate. And that leads to there being a smaller population in that species of animal. How do zoos help protect these animals? Zoos and conservation centres play a very important role. Zoos provide a safe habitat for these animals, and conservationists are able to study, take care of and learn about the different animals. Lots of conservationists around the world are working on making sure they can reintroduce some of these animals back into the wild. For example, the South China tiger is now extinct in the wild, but there are some in the zoos. And hopefully someday there will be enough that they can reintroduce them to their natural habitat. I want us now to have a look back at some of the places and habitats that I have been to over the past year. If you want to see any of the full videos, then the links will be in the description. Now, activity time. You are going to be getting into groups, and you are going to be given a fact file about a place or a habitat. On that fact file, it shows you all the tricky issues that are happening right now and the animals that are being affected. I want you to use your creative minds. You are the brains of the future. You never know, you might be the person that comes up with the solution to some of the horrible things that are happening in this earth. And the time to start doing that is now. On the fact files, I want you to come up with some different solutions to the problems. What are some other things that could be put in place instead to make it better? Or what are some other options that you could do? Like the hydrogen cars instead of the petrol cars. On the fact files are already some examples of what people are doing around the world to make it a better place. Now, when you're finished with the fact files, make sure you send them my way, and we can make sure that we can use them to help this planet. Now you guys go and get on with that and have fun, and I'll see you very, very soon. Bye-bye.